Hey, what is going on, guys? This is DK back at you with another video here to talk about some value plays I'm liking for the Week 4 main slate here on Draftkings, as well as some pivots off guys who I think are going to be pretty popular in cash games. So before I get into this video, a couple things. One, I do really appreciate all the support I'm getting on this channel. We're really close to 600 subscribers. If you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy the content. We got new videos up basically every single day here, talking daily fantasy, NFL, as well as we got NBA right around the corner. Preseason's about a week and a half away, and the regular season a few weeks after that. So really excited for the NBA to start very soon here. And then two, I announced I'll be doing a weekly $20 PayPal giveaway here on my channel. So basically how it works is starting with my early look video and going throughout the week into the Sunday Night Showdown slate is your entries into the giveaway. So how you enter is leave a like and a comment on the video, and that's one entry into the giveaway. Max one comment though per video. So say I have 7 videos up for the week. You could enter the giveaway 7 times. Just leave a like, comment, and be subscribed to the channel, and that's one entry into the giveaway. And again, I'll be announcing the giveaway winner in the Sunday Night Showdown slate video here at the end of the week. So really excited to be doing that. It's not sponsored by anyone, just me giving back to you guys, because then I do really appreciate all the support I've been getting on the channel. And with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So we'll start with quarterbacks. And let's talk about the guy who I think is probably the most popular here for cash games, but I do really like him. It's Russell Wilson at 6.1K. The matchup is just so good. You just really want to stream players against Arizona, one of the worst defenses in the league. And Arizona just plays at the fastest pace, on offense. So there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. Russell Wilson at 6.1K is too cheap. He does have a little bit of rushing upside as well, as he flashed that last game with 2 touchdowns, 51 yards in the ground. So Russell Wilson, I think, is going to be the most popular for cash games, but there are pivots. So pivots off of him, I think it's going to be Josh Allen, Stafford, as well as Daniel Jones are probably my 3 pivots off of Russell Wilson. Josh Allen, a little riskier here. New England's defense, I don't think they're that good though, just because New England really hasn't played anyone. The combined record of the opponents that the Patriots have played are 0-9. So Buffalo's definitely going to be a better matchup here. Josh Allen has a bit of rushing upside as well, so I don't mind him here as a pivot. Then Stafford. I know Detroit likes to play slow, but they're going to have to put up points to stay in this game. Kansas City, they're going to score a lot of points. Again, Detroit's going to have to score points to stay in the game. 5.5K, it seems a little too cheap for Stafford, so I do like him as well. And then finally, Daniel Jones thinks to be pretty popular as a cheap option. I want a lot of pieces in this game. Washington and the Giants, I talked about it in my early look video. It's just 2 bad defenses going up against each other. It's a perfect strip for a game stack. So for GPPs, 100%, as well as even cash games, Daniel Jones, definitely viable. And normally for my value play videos, I talk about guys 5K and below. But for quarterback, there's really not anyone I'm targeting 5K and below here. So that's basically it for quarterback. So let's move on to running back. And first, let's talk about the guys who I think are going to be pretty popular here for cash games. It's going to be McCaffrey, obviously. People are going to spend up at running backs, which I don't mind at all. He just has such a high floor. I think Eckler's going to be a bit popular too at 8K. And then it is going to be, I think, Wayne Gallman at 4.6K. I think those 3 are probably going to be the most popular here for cash games. So as far as pivots go, there's not really a pivot off of Christian McCaffrey. He's just really safe for cash games, as well as has upsides. There's not really a pivot for off McCaffrey. If you want to pivot off Eckler, it's going to be Justin Jackson on the same team here at a 4K discount. So Miami, obviously a really bad defense. This is kind of a split here, not an even split. Let's look at the snap counts actually really quick here for the Chargers. So Justin Jackson snaps actually went up a little bit here, 25, 27, 37%. Eckler went down to 65%, so obviously Eckler still is getting more work. But if this game turns into a blowout, Justin Jackson could see a little more run here. So I think he is a pivot off of a really high-owned guy like Eckler in cash games. And then Wayne Gallman here, I do really like for cash games. I think he's really safe. Let me go down to Wayne Gallman here. Where is he? 4.6K. Yeah, so he's going to take over for Saquon, obviously. I don't think he'll get the same workload as Saquon, but I still think he'll be out there almost the whole game. I would say, 80, 90% of the snaps probably. And he's a great PPR back. Again, this game, 2 really bad defenses. I want a lot of pieces to this game. So Wayne Gallman, really like for cash games as well as GPPs, but there are pivots off them. A direct pivot, a little more riskier here, is I'll sorry, or running back. Okay, so it's in the same game. It's gonna be Chris Thompson. Now, Chris Thompson's riskier because he's only game flow dependent. Basically, you want Washington to be trailing. So if Washington has a lead, it's gonna be a lot of AP. So that's the risk with Chris Thompson. But if Washington falls behind, like they did against Chicago, then Chris Thompson becomes very valuable here at 4.5K. So he definitely has some upside if Washington does fall behind. But again, he is a little riskier. As well as another pivot here for a little bit more is Kerryon Johnson at 5.4K. Really like this play. The workload was there last time with 20 carries. Only 36 yards, though. Not too worried about that. Some tough matchups, but now he's got a matchup against Kansas City. Again, Detroit's going to have to score points. The snap counts went up for Kerryon. Let me go to Detroit real quick. So he was 57-54, jumped up to 75%. I like to see that again. They gave him more work to with 20 carries. And he hasn't really been involved too much in the pass game, but we saw it last year. Kerryon's a solid pass-catching back. And, yeah, like I said, Detroit's going to have to score points. So I do like Kerryon a good amount here at 5.4K. Let's talk about other value plays, 5K and below. So a guy, this is kind of relevant to whether or not Ito Smith's going to play or not. If Ito Smith misses, then you can look to Devontae Freeman. I wouldn't feel great about it, but the snap counts were Freeman basically played the whole game with no Ito Smith. Ito Smith went down. Devontae Freeman played 90% of the snaps. So yeah, I'm not going to feel great about this play. The matchup, not the best, but he is involved in the pass game too. So I would really only consider Freeman there if there's no Ito Smith. Other running backs. Frank Gore's okay at 4.4K, but he's really just not involved in the pass game. I don't see the upside in him. There's really not a whole lot of cheap value plays I'm liking on this slate for running back at least. Justin Jackson, I talked about him as a pivot off of Eckler. I think it's going to be pretty popular in cash games, so you want to save $4,000. Justin Jackson obviously doesn't have the upside as Eckler, but again, if you need the savings, I think he's perfectly fine there at 4.1K. And that's basically it for cheap running backs. Again, there's really not a whole lot of cheap running backs I like on the slate. So let's move on to wide receiver. Let's talk about guys who I think are going to be popular for cash games. I think it's pretty obvious on the slate who it's going to be. It's going to be Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, and Terry McLaurin, right? Like these three guys I feel like are going to be in most people's cash games lineup. And, I'm not going to talk you off them. I like all three a lot, but there definitely are pivots. So, again, no issue with all three of those guys. I like them all, but there's definitely pivots here. So, first, let's go to Cooper Kupp. So, obviously, the pivot of Cooper Kupp would be Woods and Cooks. I think, again, all the ownership's going to go to Kupp for cash games, but Woods and Cooks have a lot of upside as well. Cooks a little more boomer bust. He has a little more upside. Woods, I think, would be a little more safe. But, yeah, those two would be direct pivots off of Cooper Kupp. We talk about Tyler Lockett here, so let me go to Seattle. If you want to pivot off of Tyler Lockett, you could look to DK Metcalf here at 4.8K, a $1,500 discount off him. Obviously, he has some big play upside. The targets have been there 6, 7, and 6. The matchup obviously really good. Everyone's going to go to Tyler Lockett for cash games, but I think you could look to DK Metcalf as a pivot. And this would be really, really risky. I would not recommend this. This would be only for making multiple lineups. It's Jerron Brown revenge game. So he was out there for, let me go to Seattle real quick. Last game, he was out there for 75% of the snaps. Now, obviously, he hasn't got targeted. Didn't get targeted the first couple of weeks. It is a revenge game, 3.4K. Again, this is not one I'm recommending with confidence. Just if you're making a lot of lineups, you could throw him in there because he does have that revenge game narrative in him. And then, finally, let's go to Terry McLaurin here at 4.5K. So let's go to Washington. So again, all the ownership things going to Terry McLaurin. I think he's a great play for cash games and GPPs. He has upside. He's the #1 receiver. Getting targeted in a bunch, a TD in every single game. Again, the ownership's going to be on him. If you want to pivot off him, same team here. Paul Richardson at 3.7K. 7, 3, and 9 targets each of the first 3 games. Again, all the ownership's going to be on McLaurin. If you need $800 savings. I think Paul Richardson is a solid pivot off of Terry McLaurin there. Then let's talk about some value plays. So 5K and below, there are a decent amount of plays that I do like here. So Cole Beasley at 4.7K, I don't mind pairing him with Josh Allen. Again, he plays out of the slot, doesn't have a huge upside, but he's great for PPR formats like DraftKings. 9, 4, 10 targets. Buffalo, New England's probably going to score some points here, so Buffalo should be playing from behind. So that's good game script for Cole Beasley. So I think he's pretty solid here at 4.7. Philip Dorsett with Antonio Brown out of town, played on like 90% of the snaps. Obviously the matchup not the best here. But if he's going to be out there basically the whole game, this guy has some big upside, and he's got Tom Brady as quarterback. So he's definitely viable as well as a cheap option. Other guys, Curtis Samuel, I like a good amount. He just has huge upside. Super fast guy that can break one basically any single play. And Carolina, again, they're playing at a really fast pace. Kyle Allen seems like an upgrade over Cam Newton right now. So Curtis Samuel, 100% for GPPs. I like the upside in him a lot. A guy I usually don't play, but I think is worth consideration here is Will Fuller. Now, he's a little more boomer bust, plus the injury history with him. He seems like he's always injured, but the price tag's pretty appealing here at 4.5K. Again, this is a game where Carolina plays really fast, so Houston's probably going to play fast as well. And yeah, you can definitely pair him with Deshaun Watson. Again, 7 targets each of the first last few weeks, so I don't mind Will Fuller there. Again, not normally a guy I target, but I'm considering for GPPs here at 4.5K. Other receivers, let's see. Again, if I was going to play someone on Miami, it would be Preston Williams. He was out there for basically the whole game. 5, 6, and 12 targets the first 3 games. Double-digit fantasy points each of the first 3 weeks. Again, if I was going to target someone in Miami, it would be Preston Williams, but matchup not the best. Miami, again, should be playing from behind here, so that is good for Preston Williams. So I think he's solid here as for salary relief. Other options, I would consider Jacoby Myers if Edelman was out, but it looks like Edelman's going to be back, so Jacoby Myers will kind of stay away from me for now. And then I know Bird burned me, but he's still playing basically the whole game. Currently this is questionable. I guess I didn't see that. Didn't practice with a hamstring injury. Okay, so this is a situation we have to monitor. If he's going to be out, then obviously you could look to Keyshawn Johnson. But yeah, he was out there basically the whole game. I know he burned me, but at 3.3K, I think you could go give a look to him if he's going to be out there. Now, if he misses, you could look to Keyshawn Johnson here. They just got rid of Crabtree, so Johnson would take over as the number 3 guy. So that's a situation we have to monitor. But that's basically it for cheap value plays for week 4 for wide receiver. So let's move on to tight end. Now, tight end, you guys know everyone's been talking about him. It's Will Dissly here at 3.6K. I think he's going to be the most popular guy for cash games. Everyone's saying, target stream tight ends against Arizona, and I'm not disagreeing. I think he's a solid play here, but let's just look at the snap counts. 51, 59, 55%. So he's playing about half the game. Now, he's still running a lot of routes, but he's not out there the whole game. Kind of the same situation with Mark Andrews I talked about. He had a big first couple of weeks, but then had a down week. Just because the Ravens, they liked using 3 tight ends. They didn't use Mark Andrews, as much. So Will Dissly, I think, is going to be perfectly fine for cash games. There is a little bit of risk, though, because he's only out there like 50% of the time. But there's definitely some pivots off of him. So if we want a direct pivot in that price range, I would say, let's see, so he's at 3.6K. So I would say a direct pivot could be OJ Howard at 3.9K. Now, I know he's had a really bad start to the year, but this is a guy who had a great year last year. And again, he's out there basically the whole game. This is a high over-under, so I don't mind OJ Howard. But you guys watch my videos, you guys know Evan Ingram's definitely my favorite tight end in the slate at 5.7K. Obviously, it's like a 2K discount, or 2K difference here between him and Dissly, but I just think the upside is enormous. With no Saquon, I think the Giants are going to have to pass a bit more. Again, 2 bad defenses. I really like this game as part of the game stack. So Evan Ingram, 5.7K, would probably be my favorite tight end. And then other cheap tight ends, Mark Andrews probably going to pass. I don't mind Delaney Walker at 4.8K in a decent matchup. Same thing with Greg Olsen at 4.2K. He's been limited last few weeks in practice. I think he's going to be full go. Yeah, and that's basically it. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Oh, one more thing. So I have been streaming recently on twitch.tv, about 30 minutes before lock for the showdown slates and an hour before lock for the main slates. Let me know if you guys like when I stream on Twitch or if I should try on YouTube. I'm kind of torn here. Maybe I'll give it a go on YouTube. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys prefer if I stream on Twitch or YouTube. And again, if you want an entry into the giveaway, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment on this video, and that's one entry into the giveaway, which I will announce the winner on Sunday. So yeah, that's basically it for the video. Again, I do really appreciate all you guys coming out and checking out the content. New videos basically every single week here, or every single day here. And yeah, I'll be back for another video with my full breakdown of the Week 4 main slate. Will be up Friday, so I will see you guys then.